was good tonight. I didn't get to watch Dynamite yet, so I'm excited. But by all means, tell me what was going on. This is a good time to chat with me while we're just kind of getting stream started. We're going to be covering Rampage from this past Friday. We're going to be covering Dynamite from this past Saturday. And then we're going to be covering Monday Night Raw's season premiere. We're going to see if it was a good show, was it profitable, or was it same old, same old. I was pretty quiet on Twitter because I was taking copious amounts of notes. Tonight, the main event of the night tonight is going to be me versus this goddamn fly. It's in my room. I hate flies. I hate flies. I would rather a spider be in my room than a fly. Spiders, I could catch. I could find them. I could kill them. Flies are the biggest nuisances on the planet. I cannot stand them. So we're going to be doing some fun stuff tonight, talking about a lot of wrestling, and then I'm going to be even recording TMode tonight. So it's going to be a big night, big show, and we're almost done. If you're not paying attention on TMode on my YouTube channel, we are doing TMode. We're almost done with season 4. Again, that was a season that was kind of crippled by me, right? Not doing stuff. And now we're going to be moving into season 5. We'll be moving in from SummerSlam, the greatest of all time TMode tournament, which is where Edge is going to defend the GOAT title, and whoever's going to beat him, or if he defends, very well might be the superstar of the season. Stay tuned for that. TMode continuing on doing its thing. Season 5 is going to go from SummerSlam likely to WrestleMania. Really, we're going to do season 5 as a big mega season. Continuing with our point structure. I really love the change from season 3 to season 4 with the points, getting more people involved, differentiating those point structures a little bit more. So head on over to my YouTube, watch TMode. If you get bored of not seeing me here on Twitch, then go over to YouTube. I'm over there. The fly will be around. You'll see me swinging a sock. I guarantee it, because that's the easiest way. TMode is not here yet because I want to be live when we get to 2K22, which now that Greg Hamilton, this is kind of breaking news that we can kind of cover when we do Profit Report on Friday, but I kind of want to get into the details on that, but a little bit breaking last night as I was cooking my beef stroganoff dinner. It was amazing. It was really, really good. Greg Hamilton has been fired by the WWE. This is one of the fly. I'm going to start saying that, what we do in the shadows plug. He was the guy who did the NXT title matches, right? Is for one fall, and then the crowd would go one fall. Like, he had all of the really good, really, he was my standout thing from WWE 2K20. And it's a shame that he's not going to be around. He has been fired. He's gone. He's done over something that's been, I think, really overplayed on Twitter. You know what? You go follow me on Twitter. It's time to put some people in their place. I think there's just a lot of toxicity on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter a lot. And one of the toxic things that I've been involved in over the past week is kind of like Dune. And it's not even really toxic, but it's like, I'm talking about Dune, right? And it's just like, I'm noticing a lot of like, you either love it or you hate it. And you can't have a nuanced conversation about anything. Same thing with this Greg Hamilton thing. There's, you hate him, or he was the best ever and he's better than Justin Roberts. Why can't he have made a mistake or a bad decision, or got a little bit ego heavy, right? A bit big headed a little bit, made a mistake. He's going to be fine. Greg Hamilton is a great talent, a fantastic announcer. And hey, if Greg Hamilton ever gets around to this, man, me and you, hey, I can't afford you either. I can't afford you either. Can we see the roster? Sure, yeah, before we get started, let's go ahead and, I don't mind pulling up the roster. We can look at the TMode points. Absolutely. Why not? Before we get into these reviews, I'm going to have to also record an episode of TMode tonight. We have 3 big title matches and a women's TMode tournament. It's the last chance to rise up those ranks on the greatest of all time TMode tournament championship tournament that we're going to be having at SummerSlam to go against Edge, who is defending the title. Remember, SummerSlam is the only night where we defend the greatest of all time TMode title. Edge is the champion from last year. He's held that title all year long. He gets points for that title all year long whenever we end the season. So it's a very prestigious title to have here in TMode. So let's show you a little bit of TMode for a minute, and let's get that in. Yeah, I don't mind showing you that at all. Boom, boom. I can even zoom in if I know the control. There's a fly on the screen. Motherfucker you. Alright, maybe I don't know the controls. Maybe I'll just hit the plus sign, right? It's here somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. Right here. Okay. So, quick overview of TMode on YouTube. Again, go watch it. TMode is fun, is amazing. You get 1 point for a match win. You get 5 points for a title win and 1 point for a match win. So that kind of, you get double bubble there. Title defenses and a match win, right? So you get double bubble there as well. And then pay-per-view wins count as 2. Tournament wins count as 2. So if we were to do a tournament and you ran the gambit and you won all the way through, you would win 1 match, 2 match, the 3rd match plus the tournament win. And if you went on to win the title, that would be +1 for the match win, +5 for the thing. So if you win the entire TMode tournament and win the title, then you're getting 11 points. Unless there is a vacant championship, then it's a little bit less. So we're seeing how that works out. Now, here's the history of TMode. History of TMode, Season 1, Superstar of the Season, Undertaker, Royal Rumble winner, The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Ancient history, you can go back and watch this. I have Season 1, I have it all playlisted for you. You can go back and watch all of this history. It is great. Season 2, Edge, Superstar of the Season, by overcoming Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, by becoming the greatest of all time TMode champion at SummerSlam. It was an epic story. It was amazing. Edge was Season 2's greatest of all time. He did it, and we're probably going to see whoever becomes greatest of all time this season, ending of Season 4, will likely become Superstar of the Season, because we are ranking that SummerSlam tournament 1 through 8 by the people who have earned the most points throughout Season 4. For life, we have a lot of great contenders, and the guy we're going to talk about next is one of them. Hulk Hogan, Superstar of the Season for Season 3. CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble, Chyna winning the first ever women's Royal Rumble in TMode history. They went on to do great things at WrestleMania. CM Punk won the World Heavyweight Championship. Hulk Hogan won the championship. He won multiple championships, Raw Tag Team Championships. He brought the NWO back. He had X-Pac winning the Intercontinental titles. He brought in Ted DiBiase, and he's been running Season 4, at least the first half of it, and they've lost some of their momentum heading into SummerSlam. Will Hulk Hogan be able to hold on to Superstar of the Season, or will he be dethroned by whoever becomes the new greatest of all time TMode champion? It is going to be a big, big night this weekend, folks. This weekend. What do you say? Do we do a live version of TMode just for the end of the season, or do I just keep it recorded? I think I might keep it recorded, but we'll see how it goes tonight. Maybe. Hey, we get enough people in here, enough in like buzz. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do it Saturday night. Boom, big night, Halloween. I'll come back from Halloween. I'll be dressed up. We'll end Season 5, but or Season 4, and we'll go into Season 5, and maybe. I'm not promising anything, but maybe. Today was a good day. We'll see how it goes. Season 4, we have a couple of Money in the Bank winners. The Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank. Will he cash in? Is he up there? Is he close enough in the rankings? We're about to find out. We'll look at those in a minute. And then Peyton Royce, Miz Money in the Bank. And then we go over here to the top people. Now, as of where we stand right now, the episode I put out, I have already scored. We're good to go. Here's your top 8, folks. Of the men: Christian, Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns, Kenny Omega, Ric Flair, Triple H, Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash. Who is on the fringe? Brock Lesnar is on the fringe. Batista is on the fringe. Shane McMahon is on the fringe. Shane McMahon has a big title opportunity against Ric Flair in this upcoming episode of TMode that I'm going to record after this. Going to be an amazing match, and it has huge implications for SummerSlam, so it's going to be a big episode. Kazuchika Okada, who we've seen in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I do need to actually watch, and I might even add it to the NXT 2.0 coverage and the Friday Night SmackDown coverage that we'll do on Friday. And we'll talk a little bit about New Japan as well. He brought back the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. They merged that, and we'll talk about New Japan just in case none of you really watch it. We'll dip our toes in New Japan. We don't know much about New Japan, but we do like watching some New Japan stuff. Cena's there. Walter's there. Walter's got a big match at the finale at SummerSlam. Matt Hardy, The Rock, Ultimate Warrior, AJ Styles, and even Kalisto. So we've got some good big names that are kind of on the fringe of getting into the top 8. Will they be able to do so? Will they do it before SummerSlam? Will they do it at SummerSlam? We'll find out. It'll be a big night, maybe this Saturday for all of you if we don't do it live. then you can expect it this Sunday. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So please tune in. Should be a good time. And with that, let's get into our first review, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. Pog, fucking fly out of here. Can we take picks? Oh yeah, if you want to do the picks, if you want to control pace, you can do that. I'm also going to be eventually, when we come back to live, re-releasing the sheet to the public. I have blocked it from the public because, I mean, as you can see, the last time I updated it was 6/24. That's not accurate, but I blocked it from the public because if you're not wanting to be spoiled, I don't want you to come into the sheet thinking, oh, well, why is Christian on top now? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to be a thing, so I blocked it from the public. We'll bring it back when we come back to live shows. We're not back to live shows. We don't have COVID, but it's like, we had some things to deal with, and now we're dealing with them in a healthy way, and we'll get back to live shows very, very soon. Now, we're not like Ring of Honor, more breaking news, who fired damn near everybody. I think actually everybody. Which is a shame. I started liking Ring of Honor, and I was like, maybe we bring it into the show, maybe we review it. I don't know. Moose is really like the one driving me over there. The Iconics are driving me over there. Are they? That's Ring of Honor, right? I'm pretty sure. That's awesome, good stuff for me. And now today they've gone a different direction. You either adapt from losing a bunch of money and try to revitalize the business, or you let it die. Unfortunately, they put out a thing today, and it looks like Ring of Honor might be dying. That's too bad, but I think WWE might pick up a few of those people. I would love to see Moose in WWE, actually. I really do think he fits WWE's mold, and I think WWE could probably do more with Moose than him going over to AEW. Or even Moose going to New Japan would be great as well. And there's a few superstars that we could go up and down the roster of Ring of Honor and kind of decide where would they go. Do they have a role somewhere? We'll see. But yeah, Ring of Honor also going belly up. That was big breaking news today. Meet still in the chat, still crushing it down there. And again, the more you're in the chat, the more points you're earning. And again, Meet, maybe you didn't hear this because last time we did Profit Report last Friday. When you're in the chat, you're earning loyalty points. And if you hit ! Loyalty, you might be able to see how many points that you have. Nice transition. Thank you. First Linger. Yes, I see Linger every once in a while still streaming. That's great. I'm happy for him. Do you watch WWE or AEW? Both, all. The report wants to know. Report for the question on demand. Yes, you can always do. If you ever come into the stream and you're like, well, what's he talking about right now? ! Report, and that'll kind of bring you in to the stream, get you talking about what we talk about. So let's see. I'll take Roman. We're not there yet. Season 6, not Season 5, not the upcoming season, but Season 6 will bring back that fantasy aspect. Loyalty, report. So there you go. What kind of wrestling? So Meep, I want to know. You're the person in the chat. I would like to know, Meep, what kind of wrestling do you watch? Do you only watch WWE? Do you watch a little bit of AEW? I mean, you just talked about Jon Moxley, or superstars from AEW. So AEW for sure, WWE for sure. What else? What else do you watch? Anything else? Anything other than that? Let me know. Okay, let me pull up my notes. Let's get to the first review of the night. And I gotta tell you, man, there's some good shows here. There's some damn good shows here. I was talking to my friend. TV is amazing right now. Wrestling is good. Even the horrible, like, USA TV shows are good. I even tried to watch CSI Vegas, the revitalization of the old characters coming onto the show. I didn't really enjoy it all that much, but I will get back to it eventually. People are trying to get me to watch Ted Lasso. Panaby Mikey, if you remember him, wants me to watch Ted Lasso. I hear that's really good. Squid Game, Midnight Mass, What We Do in the Shadows. All of these are really, really amazing shows, and you should check them out. I mean, I just feel like I'm watching TV all the goddamn time, and it's amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get to this. We'll make it as quick as we can. We begin with last Friday night, AEW Rampage. Meep says, no! And then yes. Meep Meep, I'm sorry. I moved too fast. I don't know what you're saying no and yes to. My bad, man. Hobbs versus Orange Cassidy in the first round of the Eliminator tournament, and I should have put the tournament bracket there, and I should have made some predictions, but I didn't at the time. I did before, and I don't know what happened on tonight's show of Dynamite, so I'll go over my predictions of what I think might be happening in that tournament. I think a lot of people are going to be upset, but we'll see. Hobbs versus Orange Cassidy in the first round of the Eliminator tournament. Hobbs upsets the referee to lose this match and loses to the Mousetrap, which is a nice little roll-up pin that Orange Cassidy likes to use. Orange Cassidy is just a great character. I like Hobbs too. And then, of course, Hook gets involved. I'm a big fan of Hook. I like to give Hook updates to my friends because he's so weird. It's like you have Dominic in WWE and you have Hook in AEW. And Dominic is actually wrestling, and it's like, okay, he might be a good talent one day. And then you have Hook, who's just standing there. But he's like, it's like, is he super powerful? He looks like, honestly, Hook reminds me of a Dragon Ball Z character. He's so built. Like, if you shave his head, he could be Krillin. He's, like, short, but he's, like, really built. It's amazing. So Hook, of course, coming in, trying to cool down Hobbs. Hobbs picks up the referee. I've never seen that happen before and not get a DQ. It was awesome. I love how AEW utilizes their referees and makes them part of the show a little bit more so than WWE. It's just a really good feel. Hook calming Hobbs down, but Mousetrap, Orange Cassidy wins, and Orange Cassidy moves on in the Eliminator. Pretty solid segment. Loyalty is not working. We'll get to it. After Rampage, we'll see if it works out. Penta Cero Miedo, one half of your tag team champions from AEW with his brother, part of the Lucha Bros, but out comes Alex with the title because his brother is injured out. FTR, as Luchadors last week, took the AAA tag titles, and they were financed by El Idolo. Andrade. FTR attacks again. They attack Alex and Penta. Pac out to help his Death Triangle ally. This builds to the main event of Rampage that we're going to cover in just a second. And boy, what a main event. And they built it so good. Pac and Andrade had a match before, and there was some shenanigans, and El Idolo wasn't happy with it, fired Chavo Guerrero, and now we're going to get a legit match. And it does have a legit finish, and that's how you do it. That's wrestling. Pac versus Andrade, El Idolo was an amazing match. We'll cover it in the main event a little bit later, but it's just AEW, just to speak to how well they do things is just so good. Before we talk about how well they do things, let's talk about something that they could improve on. Anna Jay versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. The champion in a grudge match. I am not sold on the women's division of AEW. Sometimes they have great matches. Sometimes they have matches that you can tell are heavily choreographed, and whoever is on the other side of the other wrestler is just not having the best of times. And you can tell. It's a little bit slow, it's a little bit choreographed, rehearsed, and you can tell. And it's just not that great. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw a little bit later, and you can see the stark difference in some of the women on both shows and some of the segments that they put time into on both shows. The women need some work on both shows, but we're getting there. Ty Conti out, holds the ring and the title after Britt wins and takes out Anna Jay and starts to assault her after the match. It seems like we're building to Tay Conti versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Tay Conti holds the title, and I am excited about this match because I do like Tay Conti. I do like the Dark Order, and I do want to see this match. I think it's a fresh matchup for Britt Baker, and I'm excited. So Full Gear is coming right around the corner, a couple weeks away. I would very much like to see that match, and I'm excited for it. We get a little bit of a reveal of this TBS Women's Title Tournament, and I actually have a photo of this because I want to show you guys what it looks like. So I snapped it. But I don't know what's on the other screen. So give me a second. Let me go ahead and quickly pull it up via MS Paint, and we will get to. Oh, I don't have MS Paint. What if I just have Paint? I just have Paint, and I'll crop it, and then we'll bring it up, and we'll look at it. Is it this one? It is not this one. No. So talk to me, Meep. Talk to me about what you've been up to since I've been gone, who you've been watching, Do you watch Twitch a bunch? Have you been going to school? Like what's up in your life? How's it going, man? As we get to this screenshot, I think it's this one. Oh boy. Oh no. It didn't screenshot. Oh yeah, and I can't look it up. Okay, but that's okay. That's why I took notes. It's a good thing, folks, that I took notes. So what I'll do here is I'll just show you my screen and I'll just show you my notes. Now, I don't know if I can make this bigger or not. Maybe I can zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. There's got to be a way, right? No. What about this one? No. What about this one? No. Oh, wait, maybe? Oh, hey, there. Oh, you know what? Never mind, that was a bad idea. We should not have done that. That really messed up my other screen. You can't see it, but it's here. We'll go back to the big screen. Next time, I'll make for certain, and I screenshotted YouTube TV, so that's on me. I'll make for certain that I do get that up there. But the TBS Women's Title Tournament was announced, and I have some predictions for this. So in the first matchup, we have Anna Jay taking on Jamie Hayter. I believe Jamie Hayter's going to win this match. She's going to go on, and I think it's going to be shenanigans. I think there's going to be some cheating involved to further get to take on Team Britt Baker. And then Jamie Hayter is going to lose to Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa is going to go into those semifinals. The next matchup down, we have the Bunny versus Red Velvet. I think Red Velvet is going to win that match, take out the Bunny, and move on to face Jade Cargill, because Bunny versus Cargill doesn't really much make sense to me in my head. So Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill makes a lot more sense to me in my head. I think Jade Cargill's going to win, go up against Thunder Rosa, and that's going to be in the semifinals match. I think this is going to be the first loss for Jade Cargill, or I think Jade Cargill might win, but my money is going to be on Thunder Rosa being pretty much your first TBS Women's Champion. But let's get to the bottom of the bracket. Then we have Serena Deeb taking on Hikaru Shida, looking for her 100th win. I think I like this storyline for Hikaru Shida, trying to chase that 100th win. That's history in the making. And I would love for it to go all the way to the end of the year, to like, she wants to get it done before the end of the year. I like that storyline. It kind of gives the mid-card of the women's division a story to go for, right? And maybe she can get it against somebody as scary as Jade Cargill, or maybe she finally gets it by becoming the TBS Women's Champion, or maybe she gets it and then she wants to improve upon it. I just like that storyline a lot. I don't think she should win, so I'm thinking Serena Deeb's going to win, and then we got Serena Deeb versus Nyla Rose, and then I think we're going to have Serena Deeb go up against whoever wins, because I think Deeb is going to beat Nyla Rose. And then the very bottom, Penelope Ford, Ruby Soho. Now, I wrote this down. We got the notes. Ruby Soho winning this match, and she's going to be facing Chris Statlander. Again, these guys were kind of friends coming in, I believe. I'm pretty sure that Ruby Soho got some help from Orange Cassidy and friends, the best friends. And I like that face versus face matchup. Statlander versus Ruby Soho. I think this is Ruby Soho's to lose. She has to win this one. I don't think Ruby Soho is winning this tournament, though. As I said, I think Ruby Soho loses, possibly to Serena Deeb, and it's Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa in the finals. Thunder Rosa takes the title, becomes her TBS Women's Champion, first ever. I think she deserves it. I think Thunder Rosa has really earned that. My second choice would be Jade Cargill, but I think that's just a little bit too, like, on the nose. I think Jade Cargill needs a little bit more work on her character. Her in-ring is amazing. Her fitness is amazing, but I don't think she's ready for a title quite yet, at least not her character. But Thunder Rosa, I would really like to see her become the first women's TBS champion, especially with Britt Baker being a heel champion. I feel like we need to have a face champion on TBS. So that's how I feel like that's going to go. They announced that, and then we will get to our main event of Rampage. And this is one thing about Rampage that I do like, is that they're continuing with that Mark Henry little gimmick. They even talk about Mark Henry. Maybe he returns Friday with that main event gimmick where he has a promo on both sides and he goes, well, it's time for the main event. We'll see how that goes. Pac versus El Idolo Andrade. This match was fucking insane. Awesome. Amazing. I don't really rate matches 5 out of 5 stars. Like, I'm not like Dave Meltzer or whatever, but this match was awesome. Pac versus Andrade, El Idolo, and it was just so good. And Andrade did his thing, man. Cuts good promos, even though he hardly speaks English. And he backs it up in the ring. He stays loyal and true to his character. He and Malachi Black are very similar in that respect, where they're heels, but they're staying true to their character. And even when they lose, no sweat. Their promos can just wipe it off their shoulder. It's amazing. This is just great. Go watch it. It's pretty much broken up into 2 halves. The first half is excellent wrestling, and then the second half is excellent storytelling and the end of a story, I believe. I was worried about Rampage, but I'll be damned. I'm enjoying it. When you have a good show and then there's a secondary show, you always get nervous. WWE made me nervous with Main Event, made me nervous with 205 Live, and look what happened to those shows. They ended up going flat and becoming dead shows. But my goodness, they are making Rampage important. They are making it so much fun, and it is so much fun. Pac wins with an intelligent roll-up. Oh, sorry, I'm mixing up the main event of Dynamite. Sorry, I'm mixing up the main event of Dynamite with the main event of Rampage. This match is damned good, though. Pac wins with an intelligent roll-up. Immediately, the lights go out because this is going to set up Dynamite's main event. Malachi Black, out of nowhere, just appears with El Idolo, attacks Pac, Arn Anderson out, shoots the gun, and here comes Cody Rhodes from behind, saving the day. A great ending to a great show. The only weak spot was the women's match because Anna Jay still has a way to go in the ring, but it was a really, really good show overall. I think it was profitable. It was worth my time. It was only an hour long, and I had a lot of fun watching AEW Rampage. It was profitable. It was profitable. And if you didn't see it, you should go see it. If you didn't watch that Pac versus El Idolo, please go watch it. It's so good. So good. AEW does such a good job at it. We're going to keep it rolling here because we don't have a whole lot going on with Meet Meep in the chat or anybody else in the chat. So we're going to just keep on going. I want to continue this thing. What I would like to do eventually is open it up for like questions after the reviews and where I think angles are going and things. So please, by all means, send me your questions about anything wrestling. I actually don't even care if it's a spoiler about what happened tonight because I'm going to pretty much watch it right when I'm done doing this stuff here. If I would have watched it, all right? Time restraints, okay? It was a lot of stuff. So bring your questions to me and let me know. Carlos Esio in the chat. What is up, Carlos? Welcome, my man. You're a big Dean Ambrose fan. You were a big Dean Ambrose fan. I'm certain you're a big Jon Moxley fan now. I gotta know. How excited are you for Jon Moxley? Is Jon Moxley crushing it in life right now or not? We're going to talk about Dynamite here in just a second, and he cuts an amazing promo from Saturday Night Dynamite, and I'm excited to get to it because, man, it didn't make me, like, tear up, but it did make me a little bit emotional because I can understand it. Like, my nieces have held my finger like that before. My nephews have done that before. I understand that feeling a little bit from him. You'd kill for your family. And I understand that from him. We'll talk about that here in a second. Carlos, how is it going, my friend? Long time no see. We're having some Coke tonight. We've been mixing in Coke and Pepsi. I've actually been even drinking Diet Pepsi. I've even been drinking water. We're getting a little bit diverse here on the stream. Roman Reigns is my tribal chief. Oh my goodness. You ain't kidding. Roman Reigns is, I think, the top guy in WWE. And again, Carlos, if you missed Profit Report last time, you can either check it out on the things. We talked about the season premiere of SmackDown on the last episode of Profit Report. I'm pretty sure I uploaded it to YouTube. In fact, I can double check right now. Because I thought I did. And... No, not my movies. I want to go to my videos. And the season premiere of SmackDown was so bloated in the beginning, but in a good way. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns doing their thing. It was great. It was amazing. Let's see. I did, yes. So it is on my YouTube right now. If you want to go, check that out, it's up. The Profit Report is there. So you can feel free, go do that. Go do that thing. Go do that thing now. But yeah, Roman Reigns is my tribal chief. I'm with you. I'm with you. I can't wait for Naomi to join up. I want Naomi to break bad and hang out with her husband and her brother-in-law and her family and start running things on SmackDown. I think it's kind of it's about time. I think when Charlotte finally exits, I think that's a great time for her to step up. I'm kind of sick of seeing Sasha. I'm kind of sick of seeing Charlotte. I still like Becky, but I'm kind of sick of seeing some of these people we've seen throughout COVID holding the titles and doing what they do. It's time for a change, and I think Naomi is the perfect answer for WWE. Join the table. Join the tribal chief. That's what I say. All right, we're going to get into Dynamite here in a second. Carlos, I'm curious, though, if you could answer this. This is kind of the question for the first little bit while we come back to streaming. I'm curious, what kind of wrestling do you watch? Clearly, you watch WWE. Are you catching up, or are you keeping up with AEW? Are you watching New Japan Pro Wrestling? Did you watch Ring of Honor? What is it that you're watching? I'm curious. Let me know. So let's get to Saturday Night Dynamite. Bryan Danielson starting out the show, taking on Dustin Rhodes. This is another match in the Eliminator tournament. And again, I have the tournament a little bit later. I don't know why I didn't write this down and do a little bit of a prediction thing, but you knew what was going to happen here. Danielson was going to win this match. You knew Cassidy was going to beat Hobbs. Come on now. So here we go. Danielson versus Dustin Rhodes. Nothing too special, but a fun matchup. It's fun. It's fun to see Bryan Danielson take on Dustin Rhodes. I liked it. It was solid. This is how you do a face versus face match. And to keep you interested, they cut to the crowd. They say, hey, look, here's Tony Nese. And you're like, premier athlete on AEW maybe? Do the whole Daniel Bryan, like, I'm sitting here doing the Daniel Bryan. Yes. I want to see Tony Nese in AEW. I think he's got the goods. I think he's worth it. He didn't get utilized nearly enough in WWE. I thought it was a cool tease. Danielson puts Dustin to sleep with a guillotine. This was an interesting finish. He didn't need to hit the running knee or the label lock or the yes lock or whatever it's called. He just gets him with a good wrestling move. It was just a really just a wrestling match, just a technical wrestling match. And Dustin Rhodes is like, what, 50 years old somewhere? He's like really old, and he is still being able to do these things like Chris Jericho. It's really, really refreshing to see AEW utilize these old superstars wonderfully. And then you move over to WWE and you're like, Goldberg, come on, man. Like, come on. He's just there and then he's gone. John Cena's there and then he's gone. Edge, he's there and then he's kind of gone. Like, he wasn't on SmackDown. I don't think he was on Raw either. Like, what's going on here? But whatever. Okay. We move on. Kenny and the Elite promo against cowboy shit Adam Page. Fun, but just okay. I didn't think that this promo was anything crazy, but it did say, hey, I'm the champion. Hey, Adam Page is coming for me. We have a match coming up. It's going to be big. And you don't need to pimp it every single week. You don't need to have Kenny Omega every single week. Just keep us reminded that he's the champ. Adam Page is going for him at Full Gear. That's the match. And next week and this upcoming week, as we build to Full Gear, then we can get some good build. We don't need it right now. Just a small reminder. That's all this was, and it worked out beautifully. I love that Kenny's the champ, and I love the Elite right now. The Elite are killing it. FTR versus the Lucha Bros is pimped in a beautiful promo. Great dueling promos. If you can catch it on AEW's YouTube channel, go catch it. It's great. FTR saying that they're the top guys. Lucha Bros, they're with the titles, but they both have tag titles. One with the AAA tag titles from down in Mexico, and one with the AEW titles here in the States. I'm excited for this match. Lucha Bros had an amazing steel cage match against the Young Bucks. They had a really, really, really good match on Rampage a few weeks ago, and now they're having a match against FTR. This is all good stuff. Lucha Bros tag team. they're just doing so many good things. We move along, and Sting is out to update us on an injured Darby who was attacked by a masked MJF. We know it was MJF. Everybody knows it was MJF. Tony Schiavone even knows it was MJF. And MJF out. You talk about good themes, you talk about good music. One of the hot takes that I have that people disagree with me on about Dune, the movie that came out last Thursday, is people are like, oh, the music is amazing, it's so memorable. And I go, yeah. They have the hi sound, but it's one of the good ones where she's like, she gets a little growly at the end. But they also have that foghorn, that like throat singing type thing. So yeah, it's memorable, but I can't recreate it. But I can recreate MJF's theme music because this dude is good. And he's good here too. He's a great heel. MJF gets cheap heat the same way that Mick Foley got cheap crowd pops by saying, we're here in Miami, Florida. Like just hometown cheap pops, right? That's what MJF does, but for the heels. He's just so good, and he's such a prick. And one of my favorite tweets of the year is his parents tweeting, we're MJF's parents, and we hate him too. So good. MJF's one of my favorite bad guys in wrestling right now. I don't think he needs to be the world champion forever, because he can just be MJF and be a prick and be completely over. You'll notice there's very, very few what chants here in AEW, because you don't need to say what. You're not bored. Something's constantly going on. They're constantly like switching the way they do promos, and every character feels like it's got some potential to rise up. Whereas in WWE, you've got those characters that you're like, they're not going to do anything with this person, and you just know that it's not going to happen, which is very, very sad. So we got MJF out. This is an interesting rotation away from Jericho and friends, the Inner Circle. They had that big group versus group feud, and now he's moving away, and now he's going after Darby Allin, who is rotating out of becoming the TNT champion and losing it to Miro, so he needed something to do as well. Had that big match with CM Punk, and now he's here with MJF, Sting, Wardlow, Spears, MJF, Sean Spears. It's amazing. It's good. They keep doing it so good. Sean Spears and Wardlow attack Sting. MJF comes down, of course, to pick up the scraps, and then hits another great promo targeting Darby Allin. MJF versus Darby, likely going to be at Full Gear, and I'm excited about this. And I'm excited about what they tease a little bit later. We'll get to it, but we got some drama with Wardlow and Spears and MJF. There's some trouble in paradise in that group. Coming up next, we have Ruby Soho taking on Penelope Ford. I am not bought in to Ruby Soho, folks. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Carlos says, sorry, I just did that in the setup. I just did that in Alex says, or Penta says. Alex usually says it. I think that until a couple of weeks ago, we did not have AEW in Mexico, but I saw some things on YouTube. I also started to follow some female wrestlers like Roxy. She's my favorite currently on the indie scene. Ooh, okay. Who is Roxy? Let me look her up real quick. Maybe I recognize her from something else. Unless she's new. Roxy. Is she AAA Women's Champ? Is that what's going on? Also, if you're in Mexico, Carlos, what I'm curious about is FTR became the AAA Tag Team Champions. And I think Kenny Omega is going up against, I think his name is, I might get this wrong because I don't really remember it a bunch, El Vikingo? Kind of cringe because I don't know if I got that right. But these look like some good matches. Is FTR down there doing their thing? And I know Kenny Omega's going down there to defend the AAA whatever title against El Vikingo or whatever his name is. But this is all good stuff. She looks competent. I just don't know a bunch about the indie scene. I don't have time as it is. I just don't have time to cover Ring of Honor or less. So AAA out, NXT UK out, like all of these things I just can't see. But Roxy does look like a competent individual. Kind of reminds me, gives me a little bit of AJ Lee vibes, kind of, a little bit AJ Lee. Interesting. Oh, that's right. El Hijo de Vikingo. The son of the Viking. Am I correct in that? Is that the correct translation? Yeah, I might get that pay-per-view, honestly. Maybe. Maybe. They've got some good matches on that. It looks good to me. I actually might do that. To be honest, I don't see a lot of Mexican wrestling. Oh, okay. But I might get that pay-per-view if FTR is on the card and if Kenny Omega's on the card and they're doing some good work down in Mexico. Maybe I'll watch it. I know that Mexican AAA wrestling is like brutal. Like the women get pretty brutal and the men get pretty brutal. Like sometimes it can get really out of hand really quickly. That's what I've seen in a lot of like Botchamania clips. So I wouldn't mind dabbing my toe in there just to kind of see what it is, and maybe on the Profit Report we can cover one of those big pay-per-views that feature some of these AEW individuals. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, we were talking about Ruby Soho and my disappointment with her. I'm just not sold on her character. It feels and this is no disrespect to Ruby Soho, she's a great wrestler, but what I'm just lacking is like that connection to the crowd. I just She has a fun entrance theme song and she has an interesting moveset, but I just don't buy her winning against like Britt Baker or like even Nyla Rose, right? I just don't see it. So I'm having some issues with Ruby Soho, but nonetheless, Ruby Soho versus Penelope Ford, who I actually like quite a bit, and I think she should go far in the tournament. Failed attack with the Brass Knucks, and Ruby beats Penelope Ford. So it looks like Ruby's moving up. I think Penelope Ford has a lot of like promise, though. I think she has a lot of promise, and that's what I'd like to see is some good stuff come from Penelope Ford. MJF appoints Spears as Wardlow's accountability buddy. Lol. Wardlow manning up has against MJF has been beautifully built. It's been pretty much a year in the making because they teased it almost a year ago, and then they got into that whole Inner Circle feud, so it kind of brought him back around. But now he's going around again. Like, man, MJF is such a fucking prick, man. It's just good. And MJF appoints Spears as Wardlow's accountability buddy. And of course, Spears is just this insane character, the chairman of AEW. He's always got a chair with him. He's just like, hey, buddy. I'm excited to see that dynamic. Even MJF and Spears could be a good tag team for a while and kind of keep this as a thing that goes. And MJF's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this right now. Let's put you with Spears and put you away for a while. And then I'll deal with Darby and Sting, and you guys can go off and do your own thing. And then we'll bring it back a little bit later. I really like how they're building that. Just small seed planted. Small seed planted. We've now seen it sprout, and I can't wait to see it bloom and blossom. Wardlow could be a really big star in 1 year's time. He could be a huge star. We'll see how it goes. Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish taking on Anthony Green, who might have been an NXT guy or a 205 Live guy. I don't really quite remember. But Bobby Fish does win this matchup, and I'm impressed with him so far. It's another ball that WWE dropped. I cannot believe they let Bobby Fish go. Fish wins, attacks Green after the match, prompting Punk to come out for the save. Punk versus Fish on Wednesday. Some of you probably watched AEW already. I'm excited to see that match. I'm a big, big fan of Punk. I was straight edge for a very, very long time because of Punk, and he was my favorite wrestler maybe since 2008 or 9 all the way through like 2014. He was like my number one. So I was a big, big, big fan, and then I'm just not straight edge anymore. But Bobby Fish and Punk is a match that I want to see, and AEW does this well, where they book something that's like a squash match, and it leads to an amazing match that you're looking forward to, and then they'll take it and then they'll put it in like a 6-man tag match, and like the way they book things is just beautiful. AEW is just doing so good. Leo Rush and Dante Martin in the back with Tony Schiavone. Tag match with the Seidel brothers next week. Leo Rush and Dante Martin are having this weird thing where Leo Rush is clearly like a heel. He's pretending to be a face, but it's like he's a heel. And Dante Martin is just this young up and comer. He's just a really great wrestler, and he needs a mentor. And Leo Rush is like, I'll be your mentor. I'm going to show you how to do it my way. And I like to see this, and I cannot wait to see Dante Martin go against Rush. Maybe Rush brings somebody in, and then they have a tag match. Dante Martin and his brother, who I think is injured, he'll come back. So there's a lot of good things going on with Lio Rush and Dante Martin right now. And again, it's a small seed, just very small match next week. It might even be Wednesday. Small things that bloom and blossom later. That's the storytelling. That's how you do it, and AEW has it in spades. You need to check out this girl. Her name is La Hydra. She is like the top girl on the AAA. La Hydra. Let's see. If I'm pronouncing things wrong, my bad. I'm trying. La Oh God, you should see the first scene. You should see the first picture that popped up. Ooh, she looks familiar. Is she? Was she in Lucha Underground? Was she Mariposa? I think. She looks really familiar to me. Or was she? Oh man, I can't tell. She does look like her though. Okay. Yeah, she looks pretty amazing too. Man, there's just good wrestling everywhere. So good. Also, I mean, I'm a big fan of like that non-diva look. I'm a big fan. In fact, here, let me bring you guys in. Let's show you guys La Hydra. So, when we're talking about like wrestlers, this is some great fan art. Look at this. Holy shit. I thought that was a real picture. I zoomed it up, and now you can see my face is blocking it a little bit. I wonder if I can move this. Can I move it? There you go. That's great fan art. But you can see that she's not got that like WWE diva body. She's like stocky. She looks like she could whoop your ass. I've always been a fan of that. Beth Phoenix, just any superstar like that. I've just always been a big fan. She looks like she could do it. Man, Carlos is coming in here. He's making me want to watch AAA now too. I have a job, okay? I have a job. Get me fired. It looks good. MJF does his job so well for the moment. I really hated him. Yeah, I don't know if you were here when I said it, but he gets cheap heat the way that Mick Foley got cheap pops, right? So he'll say something to the crowd that is only to the crowd, like Florida. Like, he had a lot of digs against Florida. He's like, you're messing with your cousins, boo, big things. I love MJF, man. A lot of people on Twitter hate him, but I love him. I like seeing MJF, and I like seeing him get his ass beat. And you know what's great about MJF? And if you want another really great wrestling podcast that covers this a little bit more in depth, and they'll give you a little bit more behind the scenes, they're a little bit more knowledgeable and funnier than I am. They have better, because they're talking to each other. I'm just talking to myself here with the chat. But if you go watch Smart Wrestling Fan or listen to Smart Wrestling Fan, their podcast is amazing. And one of the podcasters just can't stand MJF. Not to the point that he's enjoying him, to the point that he just hates that MJF is doing so well, because he doesn't wrestle. He just talks shit, and he lets his underlings do all the work for him, which is classic heel. He's like Ted DiBiase of this generation. So good. He just does his thing. I completely agree with that sentiment that he is one of the better things of AEW. All right, let's get back to it. We were on Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. But first, we got to take a Coke break, folks. And luckily, the fly hasn't been annoying me too badly. So we're good. Hey, what's Twitch's rules about showing a machete? If I say it's a toy, am I allowed to show it? I'm not quite sure. Maybe Alexa knows. Alexa? What is the rule on Twitch about showing weapons? Maybe it knows.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Well, we just got back to Twitch. I'd hate to be, banned already, but I have this really awesome hacking, almost sword, like machete-like thing. It looks so cool. I actually don't think it would be that. We're going to take the risk. Okay? Just give me a second. I'm also going to promote the Yowie Wowie t-shirt I got on. Because I don't really... It's a tool. It's not a weapon. It's a tool, okay? Jesus, Twitch. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now, I got this when my grandpa passed away. I got 2 things from my grandpa. A few more than that, but 2 big important things to me. His back scratcher, which I hang up on my wall, and I never use it. It's just there. It reminds me of him all the time. And then I have this, and I don't know when I'm ever going to use this, but it's here. A lot of people own guns in America to defend their homes. My ass is going Jason Voorhees on all y'all, because this is amazing. It's a tool, though. It's a tool, not a weapon. It's a tool. And I might use the tool if I need to, but it's a tool. I might use it I might hack through a jungle one day. So I do want to show this because I saw it over there on the, sitting in my room. I have just a bunch of like random things in my room that I'd like to kind of show off now that, we have a few things. So just look at how cool this is. We're in the Halloween season, right? So Jason Voorhees and everything. Look how cool this thing is. Look at this. It's like a scabbard. It's not even a machete. It's like a legit tool. It's a tool. I just thought it was really cool. It was very Halloween themed. So I figured I'd show you guys as we kind of take a little bit of a mental break from reviewing wrestling. But I really, really enjoyed that. That's a whole heck of a lot of fun. There we go. You gotta protect your material. You gotta protect your tool. Protect your tool. Wear protection. All right, let's go put this thing away. We'll get back to the wrestling. So if you're in the chat, you're just joining us. We are reviewing wrestling here. We're in the middle of Dynamite. We're going to get to WWE Raw here in a minute. And then after this, I'm going to be recording TMode. And this is my plug for TMode. Go to Prophet God on YouTube. Watch TMode because we're coming up on the end of Season 4. Season for life. Hulk Hogan is looking to retain Superstar of the Season. And we have a huge greatest of all time TMode tournament coming out by this Sunday. Maybe we'll do it live on Saturday, depending on how many people here are interested in it. Or we'll just do it live, post-haste on YouTube on Sunday. And it's going to be a very Halloween-themed thing. We might even do the opening night of Season 5 as like a Halloween Havoc, spin the wheel, make the deal type thing. We've got space back here. I've got so many ideas. I'd love to go with it. And then, of course, this Friday, we're going to be reviewing all of the Halloween episodes of wrestling. We have NXT Halloween Havoc. We have AEW Dynamite Halloween Edition. I'm certain SmackDown is going to get in on the fun. It should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I do kind of want to dip my toes in there at some point this week and see what it's all about. I do like the people they have in that company, and I do like the long storylines they do, and reviewing those shows wouldn't be too crazy because of how they book their shows. But a lot of people don't know about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'd like to kind of bring that to the Profit Report because I do like New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it has merit. So we'll get to that on Friday. Okay, finally, back to it. Lance Archer, Eddie Kingston. Interesting matchup that we've seen before. We saw this when Lance Archer was the New Japan United States IWGP champion, right? That was when it was on AEW. It was Dean Ambrose's title. Lance Archer won, and then he went against Eddie Kingston, and then so we've seen this match before with Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston feuding, and it was around that time that Lance Archer had the title. And it was a great match. This is another good match. And it ends horrifically. There's a moonsault botch from Archer. And maybe I can find it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. This was nasty, folks. This was a horrible moonsault. And not horrible that it looked bad. But it was just really, really scary. I watched it almost live. And I was so scared and nervous. Let me bring you in here. We'll go to the live scene. I believe you, but my shotgun not. Okay, all right, so let's show you this. And if you can see it, I'll zoom it in even further. So this is a moonsault. If anyone here is not a wrestling fan and you just happen to be watching, the man's going to be standing on the top rope. He's going to do a backflip, and land on his stomach on his opponent. Now you can notice that Eddie Kingston is a little bit too close. That's kind of on purpose because I think he's supposed to like miss and get up, right? And that this is a big spot in the match. You of course see I think his name's Bryce Rensburg. The referee. I really like this referee. This is big, so ideally he's going to do a backflip and land on his stomach. But he's a big guy. He's like 6'6", something like that. 250 pounds. That's a lot of body to move. So go ahead and watch this. Oh, they've even slowed it down. So this is perfect, actually. So look, he just under rotates, and he knows it, and he tries, and he just lands flat on his head, and it is not good. And it was scary. And of course, they come in pretty quick to fix the situation, but my goodness, was it scary. It was very sad to see, and Lance Archer doing his best to recover from that. Luckily it wasn't too bad. He on Twitter cleared up that he was okay, but he's in crazy amounts of pain, sneezing, hurt. I'm sure he has a splitting headache, and it's just too bad because Lance Archer, I think, might have won that match otherwise. So now this is when I finally go, oh yeah, this is a tournament too. I should be predicting who's going to win this. So I wrote down all of the list. Okay, so we have Dark Order's 10 taking on Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy taking on Hobbs, Dustin Rhodes taking on Bryan Danielson, Lance Archer taking on Eddie Kingston. Two of these matches we've already seen. All right, so we had at the bottom of the bracket Bryan Danielson defeat Dustin Rhodes. We had Eddie Kingston beat Lance Archer. So we're going to be seeing Daniel Bryan, and I'm going to keep saying that. I'm sorry. He was in WWE for so long until he's in AEW a little bit longer. It'll transfer over. So we have Danielson versus Kingston, and I think that was tonight as well. Some of you, again, probably have seen this. I did not. I'm very excited for that match. Again, another nothing match with Bryan Danielson that I'm really looking forward to. And again, another face versus face match that has an interesting thing to it, because we go up to the top half of the bracket, and I'm a little bit intrigued. I think Jon Moxley is going to beat Dark Order's 10, and he might even get a little bit heelish to do it. We already saw Orange Cassidy beat Hobbs. So Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, company's one of the biggest baby faces of the company, taking on Jon Moxley, the former champion of the company. I think Jon Moxley, again, is going to get a little cheeky to win against Orange Cassidy. Because, again, that's what he wants. We'll talk about that promo a little bit later. Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy, and I think that's how this tournament is going, the way I have it written down. I'm pretty certain. And then we have Moxley going up against the winner of Danielson and Kingston. These are my predictions, by the way. My predictions. I have no idea what happened. Danielson and Kingston, I think Danielson is going to win. Danielson and Moxley taking each other on. I think this is when Moxley loses, turns full heel, because at ringside is going to be Eddie Kingston, and Moxley can turn on Kingston, leading to a Moxley-Kingston match. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's the next logical conclusion, is heel Moxley. I'm excited for that, because he's been awesome as a face, and all of us who know Dean Ambrose from WWE knows that he was way better as a heel than he ever was as a face. I'm very excited to see Moxley's heel turn in AEW, and I can see it happening. And we'll talk about his promo here in a minute. I think Danielson wins this tournament. I think he's going to be going up against Kenny Omega, because I don't think Danielson or Adam Page is going to beat Kenny Omega. But it would be cool to see. I just don't think it's time. I think Kenny Omega still being the top champion works. It works. I don't know. It was a weird stopgap when they had Adam Page leave for like paternity leave. It was a little weird, but you know, it is what it is. We get to a segment that a lot of people don't like. I'm semi enjoying it. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It's better than a few things on WWE and even NXT. So like, it's not the worst thing in the world for me. We have Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, the Men of the Year, coming out with American Top Team's leader Dan Lambert. Of course, Dan Lambert is one of these guys who comes out. He's a classic heel. just doing that same thing. All of you are ugly. Ah, I'm better than you. Like just classic stuff. He's good at it, but it's capped. It's never gonna get better than what it is now. It just is what it is. They're doing a good job of promoting with their partners, which is like the UFC and American Top Team, bringing in these celebrities from other sports, other genres, and bringing in people like Jorge Masvidal, Junior Dos Santos, Paige Van Zant, all of these superstars from UFC. So I really do like seeing that partnership take place because that is what blended wrestling into pop culture, bringing in people like Mike Tyson, bringing in rock stars in the 80s and millionaire, the McMahon's Millions, where they would bring in the guest hosts. So that's what, when wrestling gets good worldwide, it's when they bring in those celebrities. So I'm not mad that AEW is trying to do it. It's just not, it's just capped. It's good, but it'll never surpass great. At least I don't think, but we'll see. Of course, this is Inner Circle versus American Top Team and the Men of the Year, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. This is a good build for this feud. And like I said, it's not great. It'll never surpass great, but it is good. Ethan Page versus Sammy Guevara next week on Dynamite. If Page wins, the title will go to Ethan Page. Sammy is out of the Inner Circle. He can never join Inner Circle again. If Sammy wins, he gets to pick the 3 American Top Team members to take on Inner Circle at Full Gear. I do think Sammy is going to win this match. I think Sammy will defend, and he'll probably pick Junior Dos Santos. He'll probably pick the Men of the Year. There might be Dan Lambert in the corner, but if he doesn't pick Junior Dos Santos, I feel like he would probably pick Dan Lambert. I think that'd be really, really funny. And to see Dan Lambert get his face punched in or get the elbow from Jericho would be a lot of fun. But I do think Junior Dos Santos takes one of the big spots in this match. I don't think Jorge Masvidal or Paige Van Zant or any of those other fighters are going to be involved because they're not wrestlers. They're UFC fighters. It's a very, very different thing. Similar, but very, very different. And then I think they're going to take on Jake Hager, Jericho, and Sammy Guevara, the TNT champions. So we'll see how that goes. It's, again, a good storyline. Not a great storyline, but it's a good storyline. We cut to the back. We have a Moxley promo. Some of his best stuff ever, I think, has been in AEW, and he has just been on fire for the past 2 years. He hasn't even been a heel yet. That's what's crazy to me. I'm excited to see this. I am so, so excited to see this. He's a great promo about what violence he is capable of, and it all comes from him having a child. We know, of course, Renee, who was from WWE. They were a thing. They got married. They had a child a few months back, and it's really cool to see him having like such a beautiful thing happen to his life, and he is gonna turn heel because of it. He says, my baby holds my finger, and that scares me because I need to make it back to her. This is what I do. I could be a soccer coach. I could be at a mall selling things. I could do any menial job, a mailman, but I do this, and I have to get home to my baby so that she can hold on to my finger because I'm her daddy. And I won't mind eviscerating anyone in my path to get home to my child. I love that. He's a bad guy, but he has a really good story. So he's not a bad guy yet. At least, who knows, maybe he turned tonight. But Moxley's promo was really, really, really good on Saturday Night Dynamite. I freaking loved it, man. It's, again, the promos of AEW, just so, so good. We go to a promo with Adam Page that I think is just okay. And again, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, top storyline, big big title championship coming up. And both segments tonight on Saturday Night Dynamite were just okay. Adam Page reunites with the Dark Order. They pimp this big Dark Order versus Elite match. Adam Page saying he's going to go up against Kenny Omega. And that was just it. Just kind of a fun thing. Whatever. These people are here. It is what it is. When Adam Page takes the AEW championship from Omega, will be Hangman. Adam Page versus Jon Moxley. I don't think that that's happening. I don't think Moxley is winning this tournament. But maybe. It is possible. I think Kenny Omega holds on to the title over Adam Page, just to even further cement Kenny Omega as a big heel, as well as get Danielson a big match. I just don't know what else you do with Danielson if he doesn't win this tournament. I think the reason Moxley turns heel to go after Adam Page in the future for the title is him losing the tournament to Bryan Danielson. So we'll see how that goes. And think of the story. He could even have a big feud with Bryan Danielson for a very, very long time before Danielson gets his title shot. He could injure Danielson out for a few months or whatever until Kenny loses the title. It could be a lot of different things. But the storyline of Moxley coming from WWE and really carrying AEW on his back for the longest time would be a really, really great story to tell. But I do agree with you that the Adam Page, Kenny Omega storyline does need to have a resolution. I just don't think that Full Gear is going to be that resolution. It would be a weird time to do it. But I've been wrong before. That's just my prediction. Jungle Boy comes out. Jungle Boy versus Brandon Cutler, Associate Stooge. This was dope. This whole segment was awesome. Jungle Boy hits a power bomb, turns him around, puts him in the snare trap, which is really just like an STF, and he gets the win. It's one of his finishing moves. He calls out the Elite because that was a quick match. He says, I beat him, and if you don't come out, I'm going to beat him up more, because he's pissed off. They took out Luchasaurus. They took out the little guy, I keep forgetting his name, but they took him out too. And Jungle Boy, who is basically the star of that group, is now calling out the Elite, who are at full strength, who are bullies, who are bad guys, and he's not scared of them. It is a big, big face moment for Jungle Boy. A great storyline for him, and a great way to keep the Elite and the Super Elite away from the title picture, and away from the tag title picture, and away from all of these interesting things. So he says, okay, no one wants to come out. Cool. Puts Associate Stooge Brandon Cutler back into the snare trap until Adam Cole comes out. Boom. Adam Cole, baby. One of my favorite wrestlers. Just a horrible person on TV, but the nicest of guys on Twitch. In fact, if he's streaming now, I don't know why you're watching me. He's a good guy. Loves Halo. He's a great gamer. He's on YouTube as well. Chugs. Part of The Party with Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze and Cesaro. All of these great superstars. And he is one of the most genuine people, seemingly, in the wrestling community. And yet, here on TV, he's such a prick. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks attack and beat down Jungle Boy. They take him up the ramp. They throw his ass off the stage. Boom, I fucking love AEW. I love how they book things. It's just constantly keeping me entertained. I'm constantly, like, stopping whatever I'm doing, like a game or whatever, and I'm looking over at the TV like, okay, you've got my attention. Whereas, like, WWE, I kind of more watch it while I'm playing a game or something, and I just go, okay. And we'll get to that when we get to Raw. There's a few spots in Raw that I'm like, hell, I could do this. I don't know how much you're paying those writers. I don't know how much Vince thinks that he's paying these people. Give me half of what they get paid, and I'll do the exact same thing. In fact, I'll do better than that, because some things on Raw are just so plain. But yeah, just AEW's booking is so good. Another great Miro promo here, denouncing God for not favoring him anymore. Promises violence, I love it. And again, we have this theme of these villains of AEW with a little bit of, like, good reasoning to be bad guys. Adam Cole coming out to defend Brandon Cutler, and also he doesn't like Jungle Boy. So it's, like, not the worst thing in the world. The only real prick in AEW is, like, MJF. So, but this is great. Miro had his first promo saying, why, God, why did you take the title from me? I cannot go home to my wife until I get my pride back, become a man. I cannot do it. So it's so good. I freaking love that one. And then they kind of go back to it. They reprise it a little bit here, where he goes, you didn't answer my prayers, God. Fine. You don't want to listen to me. I will crack bones and break bodies until you have no choice but to listen to me. I freaking love Miro, man. So good. Promises violence. I'm here for it. I can't wait for him to come back and absolutely destroy people. I think Kip Sabian is back as a bad guy too, so that would be a lot of fun to see them kind of reunite in some evil, dastardly way. Penelope Ford's using, like, brass knuckles now, like, all of this fun stuff. And then we get to our huge main event. Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes is going to be amazing. this is the third match. Malachi Black has won the previous two. I like what they're doing with Malachi Black. They're keeping him strong. Even here, I think he's strong. Again, Twitter was real mad about this. Let's see how we go. And again, this is the match that I say was booked half-half. The first half was an amazing wrestling match, and the second half was amazing storytelling. So let's get into it. So it's a great match. Again, I recommend everybody go watch it. It's so good. You get a crossroad through a table. It's fantastic. Commercial break, and when it comes back, it is just great. We have Cody and Malachi Black outside. Idolo comes out, and he reprises the gun thing that we talked about earlier with Arn Anderson, but this time against the good guys. And behind Arn Anderson in the middle of the ring is Idolo's stooge. I don't remember his name, but he gets a nice spine buster for his trouble. All hell breaks loose. It was insane. Pac comes out to counter Idolo. Everyone's coming out. So all of the storylines that we've seen in the past months building to these two feuds, Pac and Idolo, and Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black are kind of converging on each other. And it clears, and we just have Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black. And I wrote this down because this is just a really good segment. We have Crossroads 1-2 no. The crowd went, oh, and then they were cheering because they thought Malachi Black was going to win. It was just so good how they tricked the fans here. Knee strike to a German. He bridges it. Malachi Black does for a 1-2 no. Again, the crowd was like, oh my gosh, he's going to win. And then he didn't, so they were pretty pissed off. Back heel kick, which is the finisher of Malachi Black. One, and this isn't even a pin because Cody Rhodes falls. He falls into the ropes, and he's dead. So Malachi Black can't pull him into the ring to get the pin, and he recovers. Rhodes hits a top rope Cody cutter, goes for the crossroads, looks at the crowd, goes, nah, hits a tiger driver, driving Malachi Black into the mat. 1, 2, 3, a little bit of a dig on the pedigree, a small dig to the pedigree. Rhodes wins to huge boos, and Twitter was pissed. Malachi Black should have won. He should have won that match. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, all these people on Twitter thinking that they are smart marks, right? Smarks. Man, Malachi Black should look strong. I know everything about wrestling, and yet here they are marking. You're a mark if you hated this because that's what they wanted. Malachi Black came out later and on Twitter said, I accomplished my job. I didn't win, but I turned Cody. I made Cody. He was on such a high pedestal here in AEW, and I took him and every single one of his family members, and I took them out, and I dragged him down into the muck like me. Very Dark Knight-esque, very Joker-esque, of I took Batman, and I made Batman the villain in the eyes of the citizens. It's really good storytelling, and I know Twitter might be mad at it. Some of you might be mad at it. It's good storytelling. It's the right move. Cody Rhodes wins. I wouldn't be shocked if AEW plays it off and turns Cody heel. I haven't seen Dynamite. Maybe we'll see what happens, but this is really, really good. And that is your Dynamite. And is that a profitable show? Was it profitable? I don't know. You guys just saw me review it. What do you think? Was it profitable? Let me know. If nobody says anything, I'll give you the answer. Was it profitable? You know what I'm going to say. You're goddamn right it was profitable. That's what I say. You're goddamn right it was profitable. It was a hella profitable show. Dynamite, Rampage, they're killing it. Even the American Top Team stuff, even the Cody Rhodes stuff. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. Okay, one more show to go. Here we go. We got Monday Night Raw, the season premiere. The draft has taken effect. We saw the season premiere of SmackDown. We noted that it was a good show. There were a few parts of it that I was like, just repeats. Or just they pull people from Raw and they're doing the same thing. That problem persists here on on Monday Night Raw as well. But on SmackDown, it was just bloated at the beginning. That it was like a 50-minute segment of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. It was insane. So let's see how Raw goes. We open the show with Big E. Big E delivers an okay New Day promo. And again, it's just New Day stuff. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was just a New Day promo. Talking about the crowd and how he's glad to be the champion and all this fun stuff. Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens come out. They're all newly here brought over here to Monday Night Raw. They're all new challengers, and they want Big E's title. They want the WWE Championship. Sonya Deville comes out. Fatal 4-way ladder match booked for the main event. Winner will get a shot at Big E's championship. I liked it. It was a good segment. You go on Twitter. You got the WWE haters out there going, it was terrible. It was bad. It's like, what are you talking about? Come on now. It was a good prog. It was fine. It was good. Look, WWE doesn't really deserve me defending them, and they don't need me to defend them, but I will defend them, at least here. We'll talk about the whole show, and we'll see if it's profitable if I defend them ultimately, but I'm going to defend them here. I like Big E. I like all four of these other people. It was a good segment, all right? You guys are just real mad. You're just Twitter angry. Just, anything that's not like AEW to you is like really, really aggravating to you, and it's just very, very strange. Settle down. Enjoy wrestling. Settle down. Triple threat. Rude and Ziggs, Gable and Otis, the Alpha Academy, Montez, Ford, and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits. Triple threat #1 contender match for a match that happens later in the night. So I went, I don't care about this. I remember on Monday night, after watching Monday Night Football, Seattle getting their asses kicked, by the way. It was so sad to watch Geno Smith just fail. Very, very sad. What can you do? I was like, okay, cool. Good opening. Good open to the show. And then here we are. Season premiere. You had a good opening promo. And a good opening segment, and now you've got this match, which is 3 teams from SmackDown who have been feuding forever. They've been feuding all year. They've been feuding for the past year. Alpha Academy and the Street Profits and Ziggler and Rude, they've been feuding. They've been doing this for a year, and it's driving me insane. I could not stand it. So as soon as they came out and said it was a triple threat, I went, boop. And I walked my ass to my room and I went to go play some Far Cry. I am not watching that bullshit. So earlier tonight, I got back to it because I needed to finish note taking on this show. And it was actually an okay match. And of course, because Omos comes out, and that's maybe why I liked it a little bit more, attacks Street Profits to give Rude and Ziggler the win for the match against RK Bro later tonight. Yeah, it was okay. But Omos coming out, starting a feud with Street Profits, I'm excited about that. That's going to be a really cool matchup. We have Survivor Series coming up, so, all hope isn't lost. But right now, the tag division of Raw, I just don't care. All right, Queen Zelina crowning. I said, while we were watching the Seattle Seahawks game to my brother, I said, I swear to God, if they do Zelina Vega versus Doudrop, I quit. I quit Monday Night Raw. I'm not doing it again. I will not do it. And this is why. We get a generic Queen promo from Zelina Vega. And again, I like Zelina. I think she did what she needed to do successfully here. She has to find a way on her own, because she will get no help from WWE, to get over. She needs to get the crowd on her side. She is getting what chance? All right? They cut to the back, and they have all of the women staring at the TV. The same thing that you've always seen. It's just this. It's generic. It's like a scene that they've pulled out of 2K20, and they've put it here. And it's Zelina Vega and Doudrop. And out comes Doudrop because she's upset, and it's a rematch. Fuck. I hated it. I was so mad. I was like, God damn it. And I'm sitting here thinking, it was such a good start to the show. Monday Night Raw. So much promise. The flagship show of WWE for the past, 30 years? They've been dominant for the past 20, and this is what they start with? After the 2 shows I've just reviewed, we get here, and I'm just sad at this point. And I was just like, earlier tonight, I was like, I could be watching Chucky. I could be watching any amounts of Ted Lasso. I could be watching Dynamite live, but here I am watching Monday Night Mother Truckin' Raw. I was so pissed off, man. So pissed off. Copy-paste booking. Again, shout out to Smart Wrestling Fan Podcast. Go check them out. 2x speed. I 2x speed it so fast. And it's, when I looked down, I looked back up. Zelina Vega used the scepter to cheat to beat Doudrop. They're going to have a trilogy. They're going to have another match, and Doudrop's probably going to win. But it doesn't fucking matter because nothing's on the line. WWE is not going to help Zelina Vega, and it's sad. They gave her the inaugural Queen of the Ring crown, and that's it. That's all she's going to get. Doudrop is going to eviscerate her in whatever match they're going to have at Survivor Series, and it's whatever. Is it going to be Doudrop versus Queen Zelina, or is it going to be the women of Raw take on the women of SmackDown? I feel like at this point you might as well do Doudrop versus Zelina to give it a little bit of a story. I could care less about it being Raw versus SmackDown. We don't need to do that. This fucking fly, man. See, as soon as wrestling gets bad or annoying, the fly comes back. It's that negative energy. It's that negative energy. I feel like we gotta get rid of the negative energy. All right, we're gonna get an incense. We're gonna get rid of this negative energy. We just gotta get rid of it. And this might be a really bad idea because this seems kind of messy. But we just gotta get rid of the negative mojo and the bad energy of copy paste booking from WWE. We have to get rid of it. And I think we're gonna use a match because matches are fun, but not if you're a child. Okay, don't use matches if you're a child. All right, I enjoy using matches because I'm a little bit like Kane, where I'm a bit of a pyro guy. It's kind of my thing, but just okay. Look, I'm not a smoker, and these are really weak. I got these from Wendover. Do you think I can do this? Hey, PogChamp in the chat if I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this without burning my god. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. See, we're thinkers here. We are thinkers here. Oh shit, I should not have done that. God damn it. I just threw incense dust all over my goddamn room. That was bad. I should not have done that. Do you see what Zelina Vega and Doudrop and your copy paste booking does to me, WWE? Do you see what it does? It just caused a mess. Now I have to fucking vacuum. It's 12. It's midnight. It is midnight. And now I have to vacuum, and it's gonna be annoying. It's all over my phone. God damn it. Do you see what you do, WWE, to me? Anyway, this is as bad as it gets. I'm happy to report, because the incense is going to take away the bad copy-paste booking. It was a very fast match. It made me very, very sad. WWE will do nothing to help Zelina Vega. Becky Lynch out. Suddenly, oh my goodness, the show just turns around, and we have, like, a crazy comeback. Becky Lynch comes out, never lost the title, and in my mind I'm thinking, because I was in a bad mood, where is Asuka? Where is Asuka? I haven't been watching Raw in like months. The last thing I remember is she and Alexa Bliss were like having like a feud or something. I don't know where Asuka is, but Lynch saying she never lost the title makes me think of Asuka and that Money in the Bank moment that was one of my favorite things in the past few years. There's no what chance here. Zelina Vega gets what chance? Why? Because WWE doesn't give a shit about that segment. But this one, you see that the people in the segment care, and they're very, very good at what they do, and the content they're given is really, really, really good. I hope Zelina Vega, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, all of these people can accomplish this, but let's talk about this segment, because this segment was amazing. Becky Lynch is selling this angry look as Bianca Belair comes out, and they have this promo back and forth, and it's a great segment, and I recommend people to go watch it, because this is one of the better things on Raw tonight. Becky Lynch is just really mad, and she's got this really angry face. She gets it. She understands wrestling. She understands that you always have to be in character, and being the character that you are. Becky is bae. She's better than anyone else. Bitch from Becky. She says bitch, which is usually forced. Usually it's like Sasha Banks, who is like, I am the woman's champion, bitch. And it's like very forced, and it doesn't feel natural. Go back and watch this promo from Becky Lynch, okay? This promo from Becky Lynch felt natural to me, all right? It felt really, really, really good. And she and Bianca Belair's beef feels real. It feels really, really, really good. And we talk about this because this is what it feels like when you have two actors like playing their roles perfectly, where you don't really get that from like Sasha or from Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky Lynch from Friday night's premiere of SmackDown, right? There was some real beef there, right? There was a shoot happening there, but it wasn't real. It felt like, oh no, what's going on? This felt like it's part of the show, but it felt real because the actors in it were doing a great job. Just notice the difference in the Queen Zelina stuff and Dewdrop from 10 minutes ago to the Becky Lynch and Bianca stuff now. Everything felt great. Everything felt real. And I was super proud of both of these women. Because of Becky's talent, because of Bianca's talent, it was natural. The segment felt natural, not forced. And I really, really liked that. And I'm excited to see their matchup. And that matchup will be next week on Monday Night Raw for the women's title. Bianca Belair attacks Becky. Kendo Stick is involved. A lot of battling back and forth. And Becky, being a good heel, takes the title and says, you know what? Fine, match, you're on. But not tonight. And just, hey, fuck you, crowd, so that they boo her and she's the bad guy and Bianca's the face. It was a really, really good segment. I recommend everybody to go watch it. At least Raw's top title pictures are in good shape. That's where I was feeling at right now because I thought United States title is held by Damian Priest. I know it's not going to be good. We have the tag match later. I already watched Ziggler and Rude wrestle once. I don't want to watch them wrestle again. But let's see how it goes. They announced that WrestleMania is going to be a two-nighter again. I like this change. WWE is going to cash in on this. Why wouldn't you? 2 nights, you can sell 2 tickets instead of 1. You don't have to make the show like 6.5 hours long, 7.5 hours long. Instead, you can cut it into 2, and you could put some matches here and some matches here. You sell 2 shows, you get more money. WWE makes way more money with 2 nights of WrestleMania. And everybody else, I think everybody loves the 2-night WrestleMania thing. This will be the 3rd year in a row that they do this. I like the change. I hope they keep it. Maybe if WWE has to downsize in the future, we can go back to 1 night. But I really like the 2-night WrestleMania. Let me know what you guys think, either in the comments below on YouTube or here in the chat. We are still live on Twitch. Damian Priest comes out versus T-Bar. And I was excited because it's a singles match. If you watched old NXT like 2 years ago, before T-Bar came in with Retribution, it was Distractikova, I forget his name, but T-Bar's old character would face Keith Lee, and it reminded me of Goku versus Vegeta. Whenever they would have a match, it reminded me of Goku versus Vegeta, and it was just so good. So I thought that they were going to give him a little bit of time here. Dominik Dijakovic, it just popped into my brain because me thinking of good memories. T-Bar can be good. And in this match, they tease that maybe something good is going to happen here. I remember his matches with Keith Lee. They remind me of Goku versus Vegeta. I loved it. They're excellent. Let's see if they can recreate that here soon. Priest is old, and I think he has kind of hit his ceiling with the crowd. I don't think he's going to get any better than he is now. So what do we do about this? Well, I think this is exactly what you do with him. Turn him heel, make him at least a little bit interesting as a bad guy, and in the same time, in the same breath, have him beat down T-Bar to the point that it's like a double turn. Priest turns heel, T-Bar turns face, goes back to Dominik Dijakovic, or stays as T-Bar. I don't know. Doesn't matter, because even in this match, he wasn't wrestling like T-Bar. He was wrestling like Dominik Dijakovic. And it was cool to see that. It seemed like a double turn. I'm excited about that because later on we might get a healed Keith Lee. Heel Keith Lee, face Dominik Dijakovic. We can have Goku versus Vegeta again, friends. It can be good. Excuse me. I have to light the incense, and I have to take a drink of Coke. Blew all that shit into the air, and now it's in my lungs, god damn it. God, I love fire. By the way, best WWE theme song of all time, in my opinion, is Finger Eleven's Kane Slow Chemical. Kane's theme from like 2005. I think that's my favorite theme song of all time, just based on what it did for his character and how good of a song it is, and it just slays. It's not repeating the same lyrics again and again and again, kind of like AJ Styles' song, but it does what it does. God, I love Kane. Okay, but yeah, I'm excited about this double turn with the possibility of Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic again. Okay, whew, we're gonna get a little spicy here on Twitch. I wrote down Carmella, period, breasts, period. Why did I write this down? Well, if you go back and you watch this backstage promo with Carmella, I don't want to comment on her physical appearance, but I feel like I have to because I was very nervous that her outfit was going to have a malfunction during this match. Her breasts are pushed so far into her chest that they are like ballooned. Like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. But they are so compressed that they are like trying to escape desperately and they can't. And I'm sitting there thinking I just kept looking at it in two different ways, of course. But the second way, I was sitting here thinking like, oh my god, she's gonna have a match in a minute and she's gonna like take a bump and it's just gonna fly everywhere. I was very concerned. The pressure on her breasts made me concerned, and I was just very concerned for Carmella and her breasts in this. But whatever. She hits her promo. She does the face mask thing. It's her versus Liv Morgan. Liv is with the Chucky cosplay. I like this. And again, WWE doing what they do best. Taking what they are partners with, USA and Sci-Fi and Chucky, the property, and bringing him in to do some stuff. We're going to talk about that on Halloween Havoc this Friday on the Profit Report. It'll be the first review we do. NXT Halloween Havoc, Chucky is a big part of that show. I'm about halfway through that episode right now. Chucky cosplay for Liv in this match. I really liked that nod. In fact, I think she could keep it for a little bit longer. I like Liv Morgan in this match. I like Carmella in this match. They have a really nice segment where, to end the match, Carmella is sitting there flirting with Corey. They're engaged. They're a real-life couple, and Corey is the commentator. So Carmella's sitting there flirting with him, and out comes Liv and bashes her face in on the thing. Of course, Carmella's wearing her mask. And Liv then talks some shit to Corey, something about an engagement. I didn't really catch it. I rewound it and listened to it again. I didn't hear it a second time, but I was like, that's some good shit talk. They keep cutting to Corey and his face, and this is some AEW shit here. They are doing some good stuff here, and I'm sitting here surprised. I was like, okay, the first two segments of the show, not including the opening one, were horrible and typical WWE copy-paste booking, but the rest of the show is actually doing pretty good. Liv throws her back into the ring, but then she gets hit with whatever Carmella's new move is, which is like a float over facebuster, which looked really cool. I just don't know how you're going to do that to a lot of women, but it looked really good. 1, 2, 3, Carmella wins. Very AEW-esque women's match there. And again, I'm worried about the AEW women's division, but WWE has the talent if they try. If they try. It was a great segment. I loved it. Keith Bearcat Lee, heel/monster promo. I talk about the T-Bar beatdown because T-Bar, I feel like, is now kind of a face, and Bearcat Lee is a heel. I would love to see them get in a mini feud. I would love to see that. We get Keith Lee versus Cedric Alexander with Shelton Benjamin. Also teasing maybe Keith Lee joining Hurt Business. That would be good too. Again, WWE doing a really good job of planting those story seeds that we're talking about, right? Doing a very good job. I'm concerned that this is going to set off the fire alarm, but I don't think it will. Okay. This is a good Twitter follow, okay? If you have Twitter and you're sick of seeing annoying bullshit and you don't know which wrestler to follow, if you don't already, I recommend Mia Yim. I recommend Shelton Benjamin because when they argue with each other, it's just a lot of fun. I also recommend King Woods, Xavier Woods as well, but those two, Mia Yim and Shelton Benjamin, are great. Mia Yim, of course, is Keith Lee's wife, and Shelton Benjamin is very good friends with Mia Yim, so they shit-talk each other on Twitter quite a bit. Hilarious rivalry between them, and if WWE was smart, if they were smart, they would bring this dynamic in, bring Mia Yim in, and have her go up against Shelton in some way, because Shelton Benjamin did look like he wanted a piece of Keith Lee. It would be interesting. It would be fun to see. Of course, Keith Lee and Mia Yim are deeply in love, but that doesn't mean on WWE, like, we can't, like, have some fun and see if we can make something happen here, just rub a couple sticks together and see if we can make some smoke, So I'm hoping for that to be a thing. And another good segment, Keith Lee, of course, beats Cedric Alexander really quickly, really, really good. And it was another good segment. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, goddamn, look at this. Another good segment from WWE. I was impressed. If you didn't watch Monday Night Raw, skip the first 2 segments after the main. But after that, it's really good. Once Becky Lynch comes out, that's when the show begins, in my opinion. Take out that Zelina Vega stuff, even though I like her, and the triple threat tag team stuff. But it was pretty good stuff. Dominic Mysterio versus Austin Theory. We get a backstage segment. Dominic is good. Can he be great? The jury is still out. But he is good. He's good in the ring, and he's just okay on the mic and being a character. He desperately needs something. He needs to turn heel on his dad, on his poppy. He needs to beat him down and take the mask or something. And if Rey Mysterio decides to retire, that would be great for Dominic. I feel like if Dominic destroys his dad, takes the mask and starts wearing it, kind of like El Idolo Andrade in AEW, and he just wears it down to the ring, but he doesn't wear it the whole match, and he just takes it off, and he just looks at it. Maybe he puts it on the post like Eddie Guerrero used to do. Maybe if we get Dominic doing some old Eddie Guerrero-esque type promos, that would be really good. So I do see potential in Dominic, but I do like this little feud, this little mini feud he has with Austin Theory here, because Austin Theory just comes in and he's basically just generic selfie with Tyler Breeze type stuff, and it's nothing. Austin Theory's not going nowhere with that gimmick. But I do like this dynamic. In fact, I would love to see Dominic turn on his poppy Rey Mysterio and bring Austin Theory in, bring a bunch of young guys in, and become like this young gang type thing where it's like Sopranos. We're a group, we're a family, familia, the new familia, nuestra familia, and just start beating the shit out of some of these veterans. I think that would be something really good. But first, we have to plant the seeds. Dominic versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory hits ATL, wins this match, takes a selfie, rest in peace, Breeze, because that's really Breeze's gimmick. But this was really, really good. Veer coming to Raw. Yeah, I don't care. Riddle and Orton versus Rude and Ziggler. Not much to say here. It was a decent match. Roll up. RK Bro win. They defend the titles. RK Bro is mega over with the crowd. I like RK Bro. Men's tag division is just kind of stagnant at this point. So let's inject something new, because you just can't bring in 3 tag teams from SmackDown and rotate them out. That's not good enough. You need to come up with some new ideas, some new tag teams, and some interesting things. Okay, main event time. A lot to talk about here, but we're almost done. This is about it, and then we are done reviewing wrestling, and then I can go and probably actually just go to bed. Would be the smart choice. I have to wake up early tomorrow. Seth versus Finn versus Ray versus Kevin Owens, ladder match, fatal 4-way. Becky versus Bianca title match will be next week. It's the only match that they pimped for next week. I hope it happens. WWE has a knack for booking something and not delivering it. So let's see if it does. I feel like it will, and I hope it's a main event. That'd be really, really cool. And I think Becky is going to win that match. Or there'll be some cheating involved. Something will happen. I like the tease. One thing WWE needs to catch up on AEW is promoting their shows. I mean, you notice AEW goes, hey, we've got like 8 matches coming up on the show on Rampage and Dynamite next week, and here's what they are. WWE just goes, hey, next week we kind of have Becky and Bianca. WWE needs to catch up to AEW in that respect. They need to promote their shows a little bit better. Speaking of promoting shows, we're going to be talking about Halloween Havoc. We're going to be talking about SmackDown, some New Japan, Dynamite, all that Halloween-themed fun stuff this upcoming Friday. So if you're here with me now for the Profit Report, well, be here with me on Friday around 10 o'clock. Mountain Standard Time, which is midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for some more wrestling reviews. Join the conversation down in the chat. If you're watching it on YouTube, go down below. Join the conversation down below. I love talking about wrestling. Follow me on Twitter. Talk shit to me on Twitter. You don't like my takes? Talk to me on Twitter. I'll tweet back at you. I have no problem talking with nuanced conversation about these matches and things. I love talking about entertainment. It's what I do. Main event, let's talk about it. Big E is standing away from the TV, and this is the stark difference, okay? When they do the cutaway and you see like this, where the TV is here, and you see the wrestler like watching, and it's like they're just ready, right? Big E does this. TV's still here, but he's like, and he's showing his championship, and he's just like, he's just doing his thing. Really, really good. Big E understands psychology, because if you were to walk into an elevator, nobody's on it, and you just stand there, and you stand with your face to the back of the elevator, and the doors are shut behind you, and somebody opens it, and ding, and they see the back of your head, and you're just staring at the back wall, they're gonna like go, wait, what? It's like psychologically, this is a psychological thing. That just doesn't make sense. Humans just don't do that. The culture is you walk in the elevator, you turn, you hit the button, you stand there, and you wait for the doors to open back up. Big E knows psychology, turns his back to the TV, so that even in that small moment where he's on TV, he's memorable, noteworthy. Remember earlier in the show, if you watched Raw, Queen Zelina Vega is giving her promo about being the queen, and then it cuts to the women, and all the women are just watching the screen, just and it was just not noteworthy. It was just same old copy paste booking. Big E takes that copy paste booking, turns it on its head, and does a good psychological thing. Really good psychology there. Okay, I wrote a lot about that psychology. I'm a big fan of psychology. I like ladder matches. I like when tables get involved. I like all of this. I actually don't care who wins this, because all of these candidates would be a good matchup for Big E with the title on the line. So I actually didn't really care who won, and that's when wrestling is the best, when it doesn't matter who wins and it's unpredictable. I really thought they were going to give this to Rey Mysterio for a very small, like, 1v1 face versus face feud to set up Seth versus Big E later, because I said, we know Big E and Seth is going to be a thing. It's top heel versus top face. It just makes sense. So who knows what could happen here. Rey senton to Owens with a ladder to the outside. It looked really brutal. Owens is putting it all out there in this match. This is another match. If you're going to watch something on Raw, this is it. He puts it all on the line here. Kevin Owens, he's just, even when he's not being booked, he puts his all into the show, and I respect the hell out of him for that. Really, really fantastic. Pro tip, never charge Balor. You're going to get sling bladed. Every single time Balor is like woozy in the corner, and someone's like in the corner about to run at him, I go, why are you doing that? Don't you watch his matches? He's going to hit you with the sling blade. And he hits him with the sling blade. So he hits Seth Rollins with the sling blade, and I was like, see? It's just so predictable. Stop running at Finn Balor. He's going to hit you with the sling blade. I do miss tables that break, not just down the middle. WWE has a horrible thing where the tables just break, just like that. I miss the tables that kind of break in many pieces. I know it's more dangerous. It just looks more realistic if the table just kind of breaks in all different kinds of ways. Again, the crossroads from Malachi Black, or to Malachi Black from Cody Rhodes on Dynamite that we were just talking about and reviewed, to the outside, that table did kind of break down the middle, but it broke a little bit more realistically than the ones in WWE. I feel like WWE tables are just a little bit too safe, a little bit too gimmicked, in my opinion, but I don't know. What do I know, huh? Okay, we get Owens through a ladder, which was a great spot, and again, Owens is just giving his all in this match. Stomp to Finn, so Finn's out, Owens is out, it's down to Seth or Rey. Seth goes up, Seth is winning this match, he ends up winning it. is a great match, a great main event, and they pimp Big E versus Seth Rollins. Jesus, what a horrific first two segments of this show compared to the rest of it, because the rest of it was really, really good. Good job on the season premiere of WWE. So was it profitable? Yes. All of the wrestling I watched, Dynamite, Saturday night, Rampage, Friday night, Monday Night Raw, from Monday, but I watched it tonight, all profitable. I really enjoyed my time watching all these wrestling storylines, planting the seeds and all this stuff, and I really enjoyed talking about it here. Took 2 hours to do it, which is insane to me, but that's what is so cool about wrestling, is that it's so good, it takes me 2 hours to talk about it. So this has been a very interesting review. I didn't think it would take this long, but it did. And there you go. You've got 3 of the best shows in the past week of wrestling. And that was my review of those shows. And again, I have to be up early tomorrow for a meeting, so I would love to do TMode, but time's a bitch. And we will get it out. I'll probably record it, if not tomorrow, to have it out tomorrow night. Then it'll be out on Saturday morning, and maybe we come back live. Now, there was some awesome people in the chat. We had Meep Meep back. We had Carlos back. You guys are earning points in the Twitch chat. I don't know what we're going to use them for yet, but they are loyalty points. You're earning them, okay? It's a real thing. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting even just the 4-viewer Andy that I am here tonight. I appreciate it, because there's some connection here going on where we did talk about wrestling. Thank you so much. I'm very gracious, very grateful. I am not a big fan of holidays, all right? I think Christmas is cringe. I think birthdays are cringe. I hate holidays. But this Thanksgiving, I honestly might be very, very, very grateful just to be happy. Today I had a really good day at work, because work for the whole first quarter, the first term of the year, has been very, very stressful, very, very busy. And I finally got this big weight off of my back. And it just felt so good to go back to just doing my job. There was one aspect of my job that I had to put in some data. And I just sat there in my office, and it was like a scene from a movie. A singular tear came out of my eye, much like a singular tear came out of Oscar Isaac's eye in Dune 2021, which is a great show, as he heard about, well, spoilers, but go watch that movie. Oscar Isaac is amazing, great, and he looks fan-fucking-tastic as Duke Leto. But in the scene that I'm talking about, a single tear comes from his eye. That's how I felt today. And it wasn't sadness, it was grateful. The feeling I had was grateful. I was like, good day, good night of wrestling, good review, good experiences here on Twitch. Thank you everybody for hanging out and joining me here. That motherfucking fly, I don't know where it is, but it'll be with us for a bit. And with that being said, folks, look, I got stuff to do. I'd love to hang around and chat. If anybody has a question and you're quick, I can answer it, but for the most part, I think I'm heading out. So thank you all, and we will be back on Friday night for the Profit Report. We're going to probably do these every Wednesday and every Friday night. We'll do them Wednesdays because that'll be the night that we can kind of segment things, and I get off an hour earlier, so it gives me some time to prepare. And then Friday nights, because I don't have work the next morning, I can stay up a little bit later, all that fun stuff. I'll find some time to schedule these things out. We will add Wednesdays to the lineup and Fridays to the lineup for Profit Report live Twitch streaming. When 2K22 comes out, we will be live streaming TMode, which again is on my YouTube. Go watch it. Like I said, we have seasons 1 through 4, and we're going to be finishing up 4 this weekend. This Sunday, at least this Sunday afternoon, check my YouTube. You will see that will be live, and it will be the end of season 4 of TMode. Big implications. A greatest of all time TMode tournament, greatest of all time TMode champion Edge defending the championship against the top 8 male superstars of season 4 of TMode. Hulk Hogan, the defending Superstar of the Season of Season 3, will be in that tournament. Will he defend Superstar of the Season again? Will he be beat by somebody else? Only time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you one more time. Grateful. That's all I'm feeling today. And, every day I go to work, I shake the 8-ball, and I say, is today going to be a good day? Today it said, no. And I said, we'll see. And we proved the 8-ball wrong. And every time that happens, I just have a good time. So, appreciate it. Thanks, and